Welcome to K-Drama School. I'm your host Grace Jung and class is now in session. I have one show date announcement. This coming Friday on the 22nd, I will be at the Pasadena Comedy for a show that's from 9:30 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. So I will be in Pasadena. You can catch me there. Met up with a friend of mine. She was visiting from Berlin. Well, actually, she's visiting from London. We met in Berlin, but she is British and she moved to London to do stand-up, and she has an agent now and she's doing a lot of shows and she seems to be doing well, but she's also complaining about how lonely she is in London. And it's like, yeah, I mean, that's what you get with any urban city. You move to a city and you're going to be lonely. It's like inevitable. That's why people, meet a partner and get married and settle down and have children, is because they're so fucking lonely living by themselves in an urban society. Like, fucking bitch, come on, you should know. I think what I'm gonna do is release a whole episode on Patreon that covers solely Korean comedy. So it's gonna be like a very exclusive Patreon episode for people who want to know about Korean stand-up comedy, Korean comedy TV shows, and it's a whole discussion about that. So I have this talk with Walter Hong, who is also a stand-up comedian. He's Korean American, but he's done stand-up in Korea, and he's of course a comedian here in the States. But he and I have a deep discussion about stand-up comedy and what direction Korea is headed with that. Because right now there are several comedy shows on Netflix and nobody seems to be talking about it. So I want to release a special episode about that exclusively on Patreon. So if you're currently not supporting me on Patreon, there's a good reason for you to do so. Okay. And I wrote my whole entire doctoral dissertation on Korean comedy. So if you want to learn up or bone up on Korean comedy history, that's the episode for you to listen to. If you're interested in Korean comedy and Korean stand-up, that's the episode for you to listen to. So that will be exclusively on Patreon for you guys to access sometime in the next week. There you go. And for those of you who did sign up to become my Patreon sponsors, thank you so much. Your sponsorship is helping me pay some of my monthly bills. So thank you so much. And for the rest of you, what are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? Why aren't you like these people, huh? Why are you not generous like these people, huh? What are you doing? So the show I'm going to talk about today is called Fashion King. It's a 2012 Korean drama from SBS. It stars Yoo Ah-in, Shin Se-kyung, Lee Jae-hoon, and Kwon Yuri. And for those of you who are K-pop fans, you all know who Kwon Yuri is. She is from Girls' Generation, right? That's kind of a throwback. It's weird that that's a throwback, and yet it is. This show was written by Lee Sun-mi and Kim Ki-ho. And Kim Ki-ho, if you guys remember, he co-wrote the show What Happened in Pali, which was an immensely popular drama back in 2004. And this show, Fashion King, has a similar structure to that show. It's about two poor people versus two wealthier people in a love square dynamic. And that's what fuels the drama, all right? And what this show does is it covers the Dongdaemun fashion industry. For those of you who don't know, Dongdaemun is it's in Seoul. It's the Korean fashion district known for selling a lot of designer brand knockoffs. Like that's what it's historically somewhat known for. A lot of seamstresses there are, very, very talented. They're like amazing at what they do, but they're really good at copying. Okay, so lately, Dongdaemun, when I last went there back in late 2018, early 2019, Dongdaemun's gotten a little bit more legitimate, I would say. Like, it's not what it used to be. It doesn't really have like a market feel anymore, because that's what it used to be. It used to feel like a market. But now the layouts of the shops are similar to a department store vibe. Okay, and things now have a price tag on them. So they cost a lot more, and you can't haggle down prices like we used to be able to back 15, 20, 30 years ago. And this show, Fashion King, explores the whole knockoff culture in Korea. Koreans are very good at duplicating luxury brand items and selling them they sell them for a much cheaper price to the mainstream public who can't afford luxury brands, right? I remember an episode from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air a bunch of years ago when I was a kid. There was a guest character who was hustling fake Korean Gucci bags in one episode, right? And again, it was like Korea is equal to knockoffs and fake stuff, okay? Because Korea was just great at copying things that they can sell. And that's sort of this survival mode that poorer nations have, right? It's like, oh, I got to survive, so what sells? Oh, that stuff sells, let me copy it and sell exactly that, okay? So that's how a lot of nations that are in development, that's how they survive. They just emulate what they see and then they just do, right? Like South Korean television, it emulated Japanese TV shows, and then look at where they are now, right? I mean, they have more originality and creativity today, but back in the day when they just started out and they didn't have a lot of content, they used to copy a lot of Japanese TV shows. There's a whole nother side to this show where the fashion world is not just Dongdaemun, but there's the more luxurious, more upscale aspect to Korean fashion design, right? So you have this character who is part of corporate fashion and he hires a designer and he wants to make domestic brands stand out or compete in the New York market. And he ultimately fails. It doesn't go anywhere, right? So the wealthier characters on this show are trying to get Korean brands into the international fashion market and compete alongside designers from places like New York. So this show has a lot of fetishizing of America and New York for legitimacy purposes from a South Korean standpoint. Now, if you compare this show, Fashion King, to a show like Now We Are Breaking Up, which came out almost 10 years after Fashion King, that show places Korea alongside, Parisian designers, saying that Korea's domestic brands can compete alongside Paris and New York, and potentially a South Korean woman can become a Parisian designer, right? Like they're kind of pushing for that kind of vision. So there's a leveling up that's taking place. Whereas Fashion King, back in 2012 when this show came out, uses America and New York as a credit to gain legitimacy in their domestic markets, right? So I see this interesting evolution in terms of Korea's self-perception that's shifting greatly in the last decade. And it's evident in how narratives are being written in Korean dramas. Fashion King did very poorly in terms of ratings when it came out because people had very high expectations, considering the waves that what happened in Bali made. But this kind of storytelling does not age well. What happened in Bali, it doesn't age well. That show is it's an atrocity from a feminist standpoint, right? And Fashion King is the exact same way. The female characters on both shows are way too passive. Okay, Shin Se-kyung in Fashion King, like her character Kayoung, has such a pushover vibe. It's like it's unbearable to watch. And Yoo In-'s character Youngul, he's a complete and utter fiend. He's a nightmare. He lacks morals. He's like pure and utter chaos. Okay, so it was really hard to endure watching this at times. But I have a soft spot when it comes to Fashion King because it's one of these rare Korean dramas that shot some scenes in New York, and I'm just, I'm a sucker for that. I am a sucker for that. It was a nice thing to see. Today's guest is Zach Stein. He is an LA-based comedian originally from Michigan. He's very funny, and we have a great talk, and he's a good guy. Let's talk to Zach Stein. You got the old school headphones.
Yeah. Fuck AirPods. No, I've just lost 2 pairs of AirPods.
It is, in a way, kind of the worst invention, AirPods.
I mean, the worst fucking invention is I don't know if you guys are if you're PG, but the worst invention is the new headphone, like the headphones with the plug that's the same as the charger in the iPhone. So then it's like those. I know. I go on and even same with the AirPods. You go on an airplane, like you can't plug them in anywhere because they still have all the old jacks, and it's like I have no other reason to have those. I want to watch movies on a 6-hour flight.
I know, it's fucking stupid. I carry 3 different types of headphones with me whenever I go on a flight. It's come down to that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just come down to that. And Apple does it deliberately because
100%.
Yeah. And it's
just it
just
like how they make sorry, just like how they make Android users pariahs in group text messages. Like you can, that's totally on purpose. Like,
You don't have an Android, right? No, you have an iPhone.
no, I would never. Yeah. I can't handle the ostracization. I'm not like that strong of a
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
have to have an iPhone.
I know. It's like we're addicted to it. Our social, you know, qualifications rely on them. We depend on them for stupid fucking ego reasons. And it's a
Hmm.
complete and utter waste. It's a waste, right?
Yes.
Life is good. So okay, so wait,
Yeah.
you do commercials like as an actor? Is that your thing?
Not my thing, but I did it. I did one commercial, and then I thought it was like it was perfect for a comic, like because it
Yeah.
was like they're like we've had too many people who are on and being actory. We want you to just
Yeah.
be yourself and just talk about
Yeah.
these top. We'll ask you a question. We just want you to kind of talk about a topic for a
Good.
minute or
Good.
whatever.
Oh, that's so fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was like I was just being myself, and it was like but it was I say some wild shit. I was like, it was the director was Michael Mills of the commercial who like
Uh-huh.
made 21st Century Woman. I didn't
Uh-huh.
know it before, but I
Yeah.
was just crushing with him the whole time. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
at the end, I'm like, yeah, good luck using any of this in a commercial, and they all laughed. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm not gonna make it into the commercial for sure, but at least it was a good time. And
Yeah.
then they hit me up and they're like, oh, we're gonna use you in the commercial. We want to pay you to do a Reddit AMA,
Yeah.
and we're gonna not pay you to go and do a bunch of maybe this is a maybe, but to do like TV spots or something and like
Yeah.
interviews like in concurrence with the ad, which I don't know, it's pretty fun. I like it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
your career is starting to take off.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
We're speaking to you as you are launching into the world of television.
Yeah.
This
And
was
as
for
someone, yeah. I just I feel like yeah, you could get the humor in me being the face of men's grooming. Like I'm one of the most unkempt people. I think yeah, you made me laugh commenting on my filthy glasses, which I can't for the life of me figure out how to keep clean.
Yeah. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's like just layers
I
of
know.
gunk. It's astounding. I'm like, he dropped it in a deep fryer. It's
Yeah.
like it's too much. That's
To me, it's
excellent.
just yeah.
Hmm.
To me, it's astounding anyone can keep them clean, but I know I'm the weird one on that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if you wear them every day, then it's bound to just get dirty. I think just the trick
yeah,
is to clean them all the time, like constantly. Like, do you ever run them under hot water and then wipe them down? See,
no,
that's something that'll get the gunk off.
that's a good. My dad really let me down, didn't teach me these things.
I know all the men with father figures come to me for life advice, and it's okay. I'm fine with that. Good. So okay. So you do commercials then. You do audition for commercials and
Hmm.
shit. Like you go out for that.
Yeah,
Wow. And is this your first commercial that you booked, or have you booked other ones before?
this is my first commercial I've booked. I've booked like weird little like I booked like a YouTube video that was like um me and a like Arab guy reading mean he was reading mean YouTube comment. I was reading mean YouTube comments about Jewish people, and he was
Uh-huh.
reading mean YouTube comments about Arabs, and we were together and we were just laughing at him and stuff. It was like like I had a wholesome message and everything, or yeah, I
Uh-huh.
think was the idea. But
Yeah.
yeah, that got like that was funny because I completely forgot about it. Then I saw it 5 years later and I had like 4 million views, and they're
Oh
like
wow.
the Jewish guy rocked. And I'm like, God damn. If I was only smart, I probably could have turned this into new fans.
Okay. That was for a YouTube commercial?
Just a YouTube video. They make like they've
Oh,
had a few comics on. I forget what it's called, but
I
like one
see.
of them, yeah, it was like speed dating a comic, and it was like
Wow.
everyone dated him for 30 seconds or something, and then she picked a guy.
So it's like a variety show, like web series kind of thing on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, with I think kind of with the let's see the good in humanity type of angle,
Uh-huh.
which I say fuck that. No.
Okay, that's great. Well, congratulations on booking this commercial. And
Thank you.
for razor blades, I mean that's a pretty good one. And I'm a big fan of that director. He's married
Yeah,
to another director I'm very, very fond of, Miranda July. Yeah. Did you know this?
I'm not familiar with her. I did see his movie Thumbsucker too when I was young, and I liked that.
Thumbsucker. I don't know that one. Um, yeah, if he did 20th Century Women, he also did like what was it? Beginners. I think he was nominated for an Oscar for that, where his father comes out as gay at like age 70 or something.
Oh wow.
You know nothing about them. You know
Nah,
nothing about their prestige. Yeah,
nah.
his wife, Miranda July, like she went to like Sundance with all her films. She like I think one of her films won like an award at Cannes like a bunch of years ago. Um yeah, fucking read up on your people, man. Like you should know something about them.
Yeah, that's a good call.
That's great.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Well, did you study media in school? Like, what did you study in school?
And I was going to school with the plans of being a lawyer, but that never really connected that much with me. I liked the law, and I've worked in law as like small jobs and stuff, but
Yeah.
I really wanted to do stand up, and I knew so I kind of just blew off college and partied for as long as I could. And then when the jig was up and Michigan State told me to get the fuck out, I was like, I'm gonna now I'll do stand up.
So you
But it
started
almost, yeah.
over in Michigan?
Yeah, over in Michigan, which I didn't even know how to start. Really, it seemed like just a thing that happened out here in
Huh.
Los Angeles and everything. But my brother had a friend who did it, who was like a guitar comic, and he was on and off. He is a lawyer actually, but he told me about first open mic. I thought I'd like do a set, and then like in a few months I'd get like a late night spot or something, so they could see if I'm any good.
Yeah.
And 8, 9 years later, still no late night spot. But
So
yeah, I
you've been
really
in
just didn't
how
get.
long have you been
Yeah,
in LA?
5 years.
Okay. And
How about you?
you've just been doing stand up in LA and just doing commercials and that's it?
No, I mean I managed a really nice hair salon in Santa Monica.
Oh
I
shit.
yeah, worked at a couple others. And I also worked because my family owns hair salons in like Michigan and Florida, so I had a good resume due to that. And then
Ah.
yeah, and then just a few jobs in the hair world. I worked at the Vidal Sassoon Academy, just in an office. It was my only office job, and I hated it, even though it
Really?
was the least officey office job of all time.
Yeah, I think all office jobs are kind of the worst. Okay. And right now you just sit around waiting for auditions at home and then do stand up at night?
Yeah, I do. Also, I work for a couple lawyers right now, kind of doing odd jobs as needed, like a independent contractor type of. It's like just assistant stuff, but like just kind of random things where it's just we need someone to get this done, and it doesn't fit into a particular job title. Makes it sound like way cooler than it is. And like I did do some like private eye type stuff for them, which was cool. It was all real simple, but it would I think it falls under the category of corporate espionage, which sounds badass.
Yeah, that does sound what does that entail?
It was just like going to stores and secretly taking pictures and stuff to because basically because one of their I can't get too much into the details of that, but just getting some information while looking inconspicuous. I would just go and looking like a schlub and just pretend I'm like looking at my phone. It was really easy.
Going in there looking like a schlub is probably the
Yeah.
easiest thing for you to do. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, no one thinks this guy's a private eye.
okay. Fuck. All right, so you wanted to be an attorney initially. That's interesting. Did you
it
have a
was the yeah,
uh-huh.
it was the thing that made the most sense to me. My dad was one. I liked the world. I liked the idea of practicing law and kind of the problem solving aspects of it, like the riddle like kind of aspects of it. But my heart was never really in it because I was so in love with stand up comedy.
You were just in love with stand-up comedy because you were a fan of it?
Yeah, I don't. It just really connected with me at a young age. I would listen to like my favorite comedy albums like every night to
Which
like 3 in the morning.
who are your favorite comics?
First one ever was Chris Rock, Bigger and Blacker, because when I was in elementary school, No Sex in the Champagne Room was on Total Request Live in the top 10 for
Yeah.
like 2 months. And so like all these like just all these kids, all these elementary school kids were just like quoting like if a girl has a tongue ring, she'll probably suck your dick, like in my elementary
Jesus
school and stuff. And then
Christ.
I got my parents to get me the album, and I would just listen to it every single night.
That's
Then
sweet.
yeah, and I loved it. It was so funny. And then
Yeah.
Sarah Silver, I got into the roasts, and then Sarah Silverman and like Anthony Jeselnik out of that were like two of my favorite comics, and I would watch all their stuff. And I would just watch all the random half hours on Comedy Central until they started playing infomercials and shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love Sarah Silverman. Okay, so it was
she's
Silverman, Jeselnik, Chris Rock. Those are your
yeah.
guys, huh?
Yeah, Jim Jeffries after when in like 2008 when like I Swear to God came out, and then
Hmm.
Chappelle was always amazing, Cat Williams, and then Norm Macdonald became my favorite in the once I like after 4 years of being a comic, I really
Hmm.
fell in love with Norm Macdonald. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
he's one of my favorites too. He has just an epic sense of timing
Oh,
and
it's yeah, and mischief. I feel
and
like.
and he's weird. I love how
Hmm.
weird he is. He's such a peculiar type of weird specific to him, and that's what makes him such an amazing comedian. Because we all have that quirky way of thinking. It's just we're so ashamed of it or self-conscious of it that we go and filter that shit out. But he just is like, no, this is how it is. It's the
Yeah,
sheer confidence.
totally. I mean, his weekend update thing was like so where it was just so curt and everything, but he just was always just that confidence. Yeah, no, he's cool.
Yeah,
I, I,
yeah.
I like yeah, I like a person who just seems to like know they're funny and just feel confident and just be like I don't know, feel confident enough in that where sometimes they can do I don't know, just shit that would be terrifying to most comics, newer comics. Like I just, even though I've been doing it for like 9 years, but like
Yeah.
God, you do it for 30 years, I think your nerves just get completely calloused and you're fearless if you
Well,
keep doing it.
well, he actually said that he still gets super nervous before stage time.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's actually many comics. Like, I
Yeah.
was doing a cold open on Saturday at the Improv, and I saw Bobby Lee, who was in the lineup outside, pacing around,
Yeah.
like going like this, like just fucking having a meltdown. And it's Bobby Lee. He's been
I know
doing it for 3 decades.
he's
He brings down the house every single time.
he's one of my favorites to watch. His set is so good. It's so funny.
It's so
Um,
funny, it's so smooth, it's so tight, and yet he
yeah.
is having a fucking meltdown every time he goes
Yeah.
before he goes up on stage. So for some, it just doesn't go away.
Well, I don't think you ever stop getting like the feeling, but you
Yeah,
just you just don't let it impact your stage performance. Like
exactly.
that's where the nerves are just like
Exactly.
we gotta do this thing. We know
Yeah.
how it
Yeah.
goes. Yeah,
Yeah. The moment you get up on stage, that stops and
yeah.
you're cool. Yeah.
Which I don't have yet. Sometimes I fucking crowd doesn't laugh, and I'm like, well, that wasn't how it was supposed to go, and I forgot to have a backup plan.
No,
So because usually, yeah.
I think you do fine on stage.
Oh, thank you. You
Yeah.
too.
Oh, thanks. I never
Yeah,
see you like you never seem nervous to me when you're on stage. You just still seem like yourself and you seem to have it together and yeah,
that's good. Well,
I
that's
don't
good.
yeah, I don't sense
It's
any
like
of
the
that.
hell yeah, keep it in.
Yeah, yeah.
Do
There
you
are a
get
lot
nervous?
I don't get nervous. I get like adrenaline.
Yeah.
So I just feel that. Like when I first started, I used to feel like so anxious that my left arm used to go numb.
Ooh,
But
heart attack stuff.
it's hardest, yeah, it was bad. But now, no, it's just pure adrenaline and that's it. And yeah, I'm fine.
That's
But
good. Does it ever get like, especially with kind of how open mics can be with a lot of comics? Do you ever get no adrenaline? Like, does it ever get so mundane to you that there's no adrenaline, or is it always exciting to get on stage?
it's always a tiny bit exciting. I don't think there's ever been a time when it's
Nice.
like this is complete and utter shit and fuck these people. Like I don't think I've ever
gone up on stage with that. Like there's always a tinge of something. There are definitely some rooms where I feel a lot more comfortable in. And in that kind of space and arena, I feel free to play around more. So I'll just do that because it feels like a home base. But yeah, I guess the degree of adrenaline varies depending on what stage, what room I'm in. Yeah. Doesn't it vary for you too?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's yeah, I mean, especially more in LA where it's like, you know, you want to just view stand up as having a good time and doing a thing you love and everything, but
Yeah.
there are stakes in certain rooms and like great, and you know, any room really, you don't know who could be there, but it took a while, but there's rooms I feel comfortable bombing in, which is good for experimentation and everything.
Yes.
But yeah, there are rooms where I'm like, I do not have the gumption to try something new or whatever, or like something a little more avant-garde, I guess. But yeah. But totally, yeah, it's totally different levels of nerves and excitement. I like a pressure set though, personally. Yeah, like with stakes.
Yeah, there's something about that where it really does force it, like squeezes something out of you that makes something land like that you wouldn't have had if you were in a more comfortable spot. Like that's happened to me numerous times. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. Some people I found they're like, I can't eat before I go on stage because like I'll get like this, and like, you know, a little secret, I'm a guy who farts a lot sometimes, and I've never farted on stage. I've never had to. I'll eat like a disgusting like bacon cheeseburger like 10 minutes before I go on stage. My body doesn't even recognize it. Like sometimes like 5 minutes before, but like I'll be like, let's take care of this. But on stage, I've never once. My body just becomes like,
yeah,
we're not going to be disgusting for this short period of time. We're gonna use everything we got.
It goes into military mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I do see your diet habits when we're at the club, and it is pretty amazing. I'm like, I can't believe he can just eat all that and just be okay. It's
and I got a physical recently, and I had it in like 10 years, and then I was like, that's the dumbest thing. I should be doing this all the time. But I was genuinely shocked. All my health is just excellent.
Well, yeah, because you exercise a lot.
That's true. I do like activity.
Yeah, you work out all the time. Like when I saw you when we played tennis that one time, I was like, this fat fuck, like running around. Like, I've seen him drink so many beers at the Improv, like so many beers, and look at him go. It's just amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love sports. It was me and my friend Cole Alexander climbed a mountain during the pandemic, like with ice axes and spikes on our shoes. I would never do it again. But it was funny as we approached it, telling other people on the trail we were gonna climb the mountain, because they would look at us with like just such on disbelief. And I don't know. I like to think I might have been, because I was even fatter then. I like to think I might have been the fattest person to summit that mountain. I hope so.
Which mountain was it? Was it Mount Baldy?
No, not Baldy. It was on the it was in the high Sierras near Thousand Island Lakes. The second biggest peak there. We were gonna do the tallest peak, but it was fucking insane, and we would have died for sure.
My God. So how long were you hiking?
Oh, I mean, we hiked for about 4 days. We set up, but we set up base camp there, and then it took to go up it and come back down. It probably took us about 13-14 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah, real all day type of thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And we took shrooms there, and they did nothing. They did nothing. They made me puke, and neither of us got high. But it was still really beautiful.
Yeah, because you're already in an epically beautiful place. It's like you don't need any more beauty. You're just gonna flip out. No.
Yeah.
Your body and mind were protecting you, I'm sure. Yeah.
Good call.
And they're probably also like, you can't be on this stuff, right? You're gonna die. Like,
yeah.
It's cold. You will literally die.
Yeah. Oh man. That's funny. I grew up in Michigan, and I never hated snow more than that moment. I've been around it my
Wow.
whole life.
Yeah.
I hated snow there. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And you were just in a tent.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and we saw God, on the hike, we saw, it was like we were on this really long abandoned stretch. I mean, I'm not normally one for views, but when it's like you can only get there through really hard work, it's pretty breathtaking. But we're on this really isolated stretch of trail, and we don't see anyone for maybe 2 miles. We pass a father and son, and like it looks like 20 feet behind them is the dog, and then like it starts. Then as it like sees us, it starts to go up the ridge, and then I was like, holy shit, that's an enormous wolf. And we're like, did you see that wolf? They're like, oh no. And we're like, it was 20 feet behind you. Like, I'm pretty sure it was stalking them and was gonna kill them. If we would have been like 100 feet behind, we would have just like walked, we would have just found their dead bodies and maybe a wolf eating them, and we saved their life, no big deal. But
Yeah, wolves are scary. Wolves are they don't fuck around. They
I didn't know
will kill you.
I didn't know they got that big either. It was like,
They're enormous.
yeah.
Yeah. Because we just think like, oh, it's a canine, it's gonna be like a dog. It's like,
Yeah.
no, they are massive. Yeah, and then like I see like these videos of like people like petting wolves and like letting a wolf lick them inside their mouths. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's insane.
I mean, the bears loved grizzly man until they didn't. Like, those people always die.
They always die. It's like a long form of suicide.
Yeah.
It's like, it's my dream to cuddle a wild animal, and I will do it, but I will die. So they just commit to it. That's what that is.
Yeah. I respect and fear nature immensely. I even feel stupid going camping.
So you like LA then? It suits you?
Yeah, I like LA. I love stand up, and like, God, you're on such amazing stand up here. And then California, so like I like the outdoors a lot, and California is so geographically diverse. It's like you get everything here. I look into the desert, the mountains, the ocean.
That's
true. It's rad.
That's true. We do get some of the most beautiful views out here. It is really epically beautiful. Like when I first moved out here, I was just like in awe all the time. I was like, I can't believe how beautiful this fucking place is. Yeah.
I'm going up to Ojai at the end of the month. That's supposed to be just incredible. I haven't been to that northern part of it,
awesome.
But yeah.
Good for you. What part of town do you live in?
Right in Hollywood. When I moved out here, I was in Santa Monica on a couch for 6 months. Then in Playa Vista, before it fully got developed, they overdeveloped it. So I got to live in like a ballin' ass place for pretty reasonable rent, with like an amazing gym, sweet pool, just all this stuff. But it was always like, and I worked in Santa Monica, so, and then I'd have to like, I'd be out doing comedy and stuff, and like being engaged in the scene and everything. I'd get home at like 3 a.m. in an Uber. I didn't have a car at the time. And then just have to go to work. It just felt like I was just traveling like from place to place. So now I'm in Hollywood. I'm 2 miles from the Improv and the Comedy Store. I walk to both. And I just really prefer that. I just feel so much more zoned in and focused when I'm like close to where the industry I'm most interested in is.
Yeah, for sure. That's great. I think location does help a lot, because I'm still in the valley. I've been in the valley like the whole time I've been in LA basically, and it's exhausting just like driving around and being far away from stuff. But it's also like, well, I'm in the valley, but like it's, in terms of like my living and like rent and all of that, there are benefits in that regard too. And also
100%.
I go to the Liquid Zoo, which is like right across the street from me, so
nice.
there are little perks like that. Valley has a pretty decent comedy scene, I think. It's a little sadder. It's a little sad. It's a bummer sometimes, but there is a scene.
My lifestyle was the best. This is the worst my lifestyle has been, is living in Hollywood. Oh yeah, I lived in much nicer places every other period of my life. It's just I mean, and I did stand up like all the time when I lived out there. It just got a little tiring, and it's been a little more relaxing living here for me. But
that's good.
Oh yeah, you hustle like crazy. I feel like you're a hard worker. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, but right now I'm not working any jobs at the moment, and so like I feel very conflicted. Like I'm hustling my ass off, like in terms of comedy and in terms of like writing and things like that, but I'm not, and I'm auditioning a lot, but I'm not getting a whole lot done in terms of like income making, and that is starting to, I mean, that's always just kind of been this like low running anxiety just humming below me, but
Totally,
um
I get that.
I just have to, I don't know, like keep my anxiety in check and keep my faith in place and wait for my own razor blade commercial to work out.
Hell yeah, I think you can. Yeah, I think we can be. I think we can be. You can get Gillette, which is the bigger company anyway. Fuck, I shouldn't say
Yeah.
that. But
Yeah.
we'll just be running the razor blade game.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the
Yeah.
top, looking down on
Yeah.
everyone.
Just fully hairless and doing it. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be fun. Okay.
Perfect.
I'm gonna ask you some flashcard questions based on a
Sure.
Korean drama, and you just
Ooh.
answer like, what would you do if you were in this situation or you were this person? Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Let's say you're a young woman named Young, and you live in a tiny annex attached to a fashion boutique where you work as a seamstress. And it's owned by this designer bitch lady named Joe, who took over your mother's boutique when you were very young, right after your parents both died in a car accident. She used to work as your mother's seamstress, but now she owns your mom's shop and she treats you like fucking Cinderella. And you're immensely talented as a designer. So you apply to fashion school in New York and you're waiting for an acceptance letter. But this bitch lady says that no mail came to you, none. And you suspect that she's hiding it. What do you do?
I God, I don't know. I I know more what I could get away with in America than in Korea. But let's think. God, I feel like I'd attack her.
Okay. Physically.
Physically. No,
Yeah.
I would God, I don't know. Um does she no cell phone? I'm guessing.
She has a cell phone.
Did she email him? Email the registrar's office.
Yeah, you can. You can email. That's true. I think this show came out in like 2000. No, this came out not that long ago. They definitely had email and cell phones. Yeah.
I would try to contact the university and see if and just say I haven't received mail. I was supposed to receive in this time period. I just want to make sure there wasn't an error in like where my mail goes, and they'd be like, we sent it to this address, and I'd be like, oh, that's so strange, I never got it. And then you're getting at least closer to the bottom, and you can act from there.
Okay. So yeah, okay. So just
what did she do?
She just found a computer and checked her email. Like it was just like a very like strange thing. It's like, why are you waiting for a physical letter like in the year 20, like this is like past year 2010. It's like beyond the time. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, just check your fucking email. All right, good. Let's say you're the same young lady, you're Kai Young again. That bitch lady Joe, she kicked you out of her shop. She's like, fuck off. All right. So you're on the streets. You have no money, no home, no family. But you see a help wanted sign looking for a seamstress at a small sweatshop owned by a young man named Youngger. So you start working for him, and he offers you a tiny cot to sleep in inside the factory. And he also lets you check your email on his computer. You got accepted to the fashion school with a full scholarship. So you fly to New York, but when you arrive, they say that you declined the offer. And so the spot went to a waitlisted student who happens to be that bitch lady Joe's talentless daughter. What do you do?
Shit. Well, I'm overdosing well before that guy invites me to come work at a shop. I'm just dying on the street from drugs. But if I make it to that point, God, in my head, I'm cutting like as her in my mind. I'm imagining cutting their heads off. I probably don't actually cut their heads off, but that's Yeah, you really fucking ruined my life here, you bitch. Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I'm guessing she has no money, and you can't really get it. Yeah, you can't really with legal defense or anything like that. Damn. I would. I mean, I would try to appeal to the school, and then I would. God, yeah, I might stab her, the mom. I might go kill her.
Okay, so murder is the
Yeah,
final.
I mean, although am I doing well at my new job?
Well, that job was in Korea. Now you're in New York City, and
Now I'm in New York City and I have no money and I'm just fucked. So I can't even go back and kill her.
yeah.
I'm overdosing on drugs in the street still, just in a different location, same result.
Okay. All right. Let's say you're that young man now. You're that CEO of that little factory place, young guy. Okay. You owe a massive amount of debt to some very violent loan sharks. They're all gangsters and thugs. On top of that, you've been sleeping with some girl who turns out to be the loan shark boss's girlfriend. And now he's threatening to cut your dick off. What do you do?
God damn, it sounds like I rock. I think I might be able to take these guys out if I'm that cool. God, I feel like, if you're living a life like that, you're walking the line. You kind of know you're walking the line and it could be over at any moment. I think I would just I think I would just keep living life on a high wire. It seems like it's been pretty fucking fun so far. It's like I can stop now, but I already have a loan shark who I owe money mad at me for, I'm probably fucked. So let's just keep rolling the dice, dude. And like, I maybe would try some blow them up plot. I would try homemade explosives to take out the mob, and then I would tell his girlfriend that I was gonna take her with me, and I wouldn't. I would leave her.
Wow. Okay. Truly a reckless young man. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Let's say you're back to the young lady again. You're Kai Young again. Okay.
Okay.
A really rich guy named Chae-hyuk, who owns a massive fashion line, helps you get into your fashion school again. And your former boss, that young man, Young-gal, shows up at your school, stinking like a homeless man, dressed like shit. He has nowhere to go, and he asks if he can stay with you. What do you do?
I would feed and house him. Absolutely.
Really?
He did the same for me in the same situation.
That's very sweet of you. Okay. All right. So, okay, you're reckless, but you are very generous as well. You're fair. Yeah. That's
I'm
cool.
a complex man. But also that was me as a girl.
That's true. Okay. All right. Let's say you're now a different woman. Your name is Anna. You're the rich guy Chae-hyuk's ex-girlfriend. All right. And you're a fashion designer. You guys broke up a while ago because Chae-hyuk's parents hated you. Okay. But now he is back in your life and he offers you a job at his office to create your own label. What do you do?
You said I'm rich in this scenario?
You're not rich. You're just a
Okay,
working
sorry.
woman. Your ex-boyfriend, he's the one with the money.
Yeah. Okay. And we broke up because my parents didn't like him.
Because his parents hated you. Yeah.
His parents hated me, and he's offering me a job.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. I would like name my line like "fuck your parents" too. Suck my dick, mom and dad.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay. Let's say you're the same woman. You're still Anna again. Okay. The label you created through your ex-boyfriend Chae-hyuk's money, it was an epic failure. You lost your boyfriend's company $5 million. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your boyfriend Chae-hyuk keeps showing attention to that poor girl, Kai-young. What do you do?
I'd probably get jealous. And yeah, I'd feel really low on myself and like a failure. And, um, God, I don't know. I feel like at that point, if you're so down and beaten, and you're just like, no, like you failed in your dream. Like you were given the opportunity to accomplish your dream, and you fell short in an objective fashion. And now, the man who you love, you might lose that too when you're already low. I mean, yeah, I could see doing something pretty ugly, or just taking drugs and dying on the street.
If there ever comes a point, and this will never come, but if there ever comes a point where things don't work out for you, I think I know what direction you're gonna take.
Writing Korean dramas.
Okay. All right, let's say you're Kai Young again, okay? You're the young woman, the poor one, okay? You're in love with your former boss, Young Go, okay? But Young Go is a money-hungry son of a bitch, and he decides to partner up his company with that bitch lady, Jo, who used to treat you like garbage. He decides to join his partnership with her against your wishes. And you threaten to quit, but he still insists on working with that woman. And this is a woman who stole your mother's shop from you, then left you on the streets. What do you do?
God damn, that is pretty personal. I do like to think business is business and there's no room for ego.
Yeah.
But that is she really doesn't, they're nasty shit. Is she my boss now in this situation?
She is not your boss.
Okay.
No.
God, I think I would so how, and but I'm really in love with this guy, right?
You are. Yeah, and you guys work together. You guys work pretty well together.
Yeah, and there's no thought of romance between those two.
You like him a lot, but he doesn't.
No. Oh, he doesn't love me back, or we're not
He
together?
doesn't. He's not reciprocating like any intense affection for you. No, that woman is not. There's no love between that woman and him. No.
Okay, and there's no love. There's no love from him to me at all, right?
Correct.
Oh, I think I would keep working because it's a great job in my dream job, and I overcame a lot. But I would lose any affection for him at that point. Yeah, But I mean, it seems like she maybe should have a while ago. So that doesn't. I don't know if that's as true to the character. But I mean, that really seems like a massive disrespect to not listen to you on something like that with someone who so sincerely fucked you over.
Yes, it's true. Okay. Last question. Let's say you're Anna, okay? Your ex-boyfriend is now fully in love with that Kai Young chick, all right? But Kai Young loves Young Go. Young Go used to like you, but recently he went on a business trip and he shared the same hotel as Kai Young. And there are rumors that the two of them spent the night together there. And now they're constantly together. They're inseparable. What do you do?
God damn. How old am I? Do you know that?
Late 20s.
See, to me, because that's like, yeah, you got time. Start fresh.
Yeah, it's true.
Would I try to? I would So I would go to the man I'm in love with, who I would go and tell him that Kai Young doesn't love him and she loves this rich guy and they've been in the room together, and I would try to fuck that up so I could be with him.
Oh, so make shit up.
Yeah, and you're just telling him the truth, but it's obviously, it's still a malicious thing, like intended for your benefit. But yeah, I mean, am I the daughter of the woman who fucked over Kai Young?
No. So okay,
yeah, then I would try to fuck her over.
Yeah,
and get her. Yeah.
All right, just do some backstabbing bitch shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. You'd make a perfect woman.
Thank you.
Okay, that wraps it up. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you. This was so fun.